All right, so we're gonna do something a little different today. All right, a little different since we're tapping in early. We're going to hold on. Hold up. So since we're tapping in early, we're going to take a look at one of these speeches from yesterday from comedian Tony Hinchcliffe. This is a speech from Donald Trump's rally at MSG. I thought it was a good icebreaker, so to say. Y'all give me y'all thoughts. I'm going to get off the screen for a sec, and then we're going to give people a chance to get in the room since we're here a little bit early. And we'll get the blood flowing a little bit. Get the blood flowing a little bit. So let me throw this on here. Tony Hinchcliffe, y'all. All right, Tony, let's hear what you got. Hold on, I got to make myself a little. There we go.
See, I come from the D where we got checks and we be flexing. If you ain't from my state, then you should know, don't listen.
Madison Square Garden, how we feeling, huh? Wow, isn't this special? 17 years ago, I was sleeping in my car behind the Comedy Store in LA, and I'm proud to say this is my 4th time performing at Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the damn world. The American dream alive and well right here. This is very different than where I'm used to performing, though. I'm used to nighttime with people drinking, not so many babies in the crowd, and people that are obviously only here for Lee Greenwood tonight. Normally, I don't make my political beliefs a known thing. It's divisive for a comedian to do that, but just know I sleep well at night knowing who I'm voting for. Yeah. When I lay down and my head hits my pillow, it is a fantastic pillow, by the way. I was staying at the Four Seasons up by Central Park one night, and I laid my head down, and it felt so good, and I thought to myself, what an amazing pillow. I have a little bit of money now. I could buy a good pillow. And I took the pillowcase off, and there it was. My pillow, my pillow, my pillow. And damn it, I bought 4 of them. And if you use the promo code KILLTONY, you can also buy 4 My Pillows. There's serious stuff happening, people. I live in the great state of Texas now. 18 years in Ohio, 20 years in California, and I got to see California turn to absolute horrendous thing. And traveling the
What's
world,
up, Mark?
I got to see San Francisco turn into one of the most demented cities, one of the greatest downfalls I've ever seen. And that is where the other candidate worked for 2 decades.
What's up, big bro, Doug?
It's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight?
All right, so real quickly, as you're joining, we started a couple minutes early. I wanted to show this. I just thought it was a funny, interesting. Matter of fact, I'll say interesting. Well, I'll let you judge as far as if it's funny or not. But this is one of the speeches from last night, or yesterday, I should say, Trump's rally at MSG. Thought it was interesting. So y'all take a listen. We'll allow people to jump in. We may not listen to the entire thing, but relax, get ready for the show. And like, share with a friend if you want to, and listen to my man Tony Hinchcliffe.
You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this. It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country. Republicans are the party with a good sense of humor. Free speech is under attack, people. I host a show, and each week I get updates what words we're allowed to use and not use anymore. It's happening right now the past few years. It's a real thing. And, you know, used to be able to tell people to Google stuff. My mom's a boomer in the state of Ohio, and there's no convincing her of anything. She's eating the cats. She's eating the dogs. They're eating the pets up there. It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Now, again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup. There's some people here. All right. Very good. I like it. I have other policies that I think it should be implemented as well. Like me personally, I think football should be all year round. Yeah. So many great athletes. I don't know about you guys, but I think that Travis Kelce might be the next O.J. Simpson. Feels good in here. The other side's got a lot of crazy endorsements. Swift, Eminem, Leo DiCaprio, Beyonce. Every day the Democratic Party looks more and more like a P. Diddy party. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what you guys want.
Welcome.
All right, heck yeah, it's cool. Black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that, a lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding. That's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun. We carved watermelons together. It was awesome.
Yeah.
You guys this is a groany little morning crowd, huh? It's tough to follow this audition for the next Commissioner Gordon's over here. It is, though. It's crazy times we're living in. I mean, all these pointless wars. It is unbelievable what's happening right now. It is incredible. Ukraine versus Russia, Israel, it's like bad soccer games. Who even cares? What are we doing? Why is our money involved in these wars? When it comes to Israel and Palestine, we're all thinking the same thing. Settle your stuff already. Best out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. You know the Palestinians are going to throw rock every time. But you also know the Jews have a hard time throwing that paper. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're having fun now. We're cooking. Hillary Clinton said that this is a Nazi rally here today. Can you believe that?
He said
For the
rock
most
and money.
anti-war president of my entire lifetime. And she calls him Hitler. Let me remind you, Hillary, it was your husband who shot innocent people, or as he called them, interns. Yeah, Hillary, I bet you did not see that one coming. By the way, if I commit suicide in 3 weeks, I didn't. I mean, it's just obvious to me who the right candidate is. There's a guy out here dodging bullets. It is unbelievable, right? He took it right in the ear. Unbelievable. I thought about this. I don't know if you have. Coolest place to get shot. Like if you're gonna get shot anywhere on your body, that's where you want it. Right there. Technically, he got shot in the head, depending on if you're a Democrat or a Republican. Right? If you're a Democrat, his ear was grazed. If you're a Republican, he survived a headshot.
You survived the headshot.
It is. It's the best place to get shot. It's the only part of the human.
All right, we'll probably let this go for another couple minutes. I mean, it's going to finish. It's only 2 more minutes or so. But yeah, just wanted y'all to check this one out. Got a couple questions on it. How did y'all react to it? How did y'all react to Trump being at MSG? I know a lot of Democrats were saying that, like, referencing this to something that Hitler did is wild, but we definitely saw it happen. And so we'll keep going, because this is one of the most raciest, where race was involved as far as speeches, where I think that, I mean, it's a comedian, but I think that the Democrats will definitely be putting up some of Tony Hinchcliffe's videos and using that to connect to some sort of racist ideologies. Who knows? We'll keep going for a couple minutes though.
Body will drive a piercing through like a little girl's ear for no reason, right? There's just it heals fast. Nobody cares. It's the best place to get shot. He went down, saw blood on his hands. I'd imagine he thought right then, I think I just won this shit. Stands up and says the most American words I've ever heard in my life. No. Before that, there was one more. Let me get my shoes. Fearless. Perhaps still with an active shooter. He's talking like a guy that just had the best one-night stand of his life. Right? Like, where's my shoes at? I gotta get the hell out of here. Let me get my shoes.
Hold up, Mark. I just realized MSN is mainstream media. When you write that, that's what you mean?
Cool that Biden got COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go back. Look at the timeline of everything again. 3 days after that. That means that Biden, he didn't get that from hanging out with sick people. He was in a sterile room in the White House watching blood running down Trump's face as he pumps his fist. Biden's like, oh, fuck. Oh, God, no. It's true. Trump survived an assassination attempt and Biden got COVID. We vote next week. God voted 3 months ago.
Oh, man. Oh, man. They're going to have a...
Another great Austin, Texas resident, Elon Musk, will be speaking here later today. Unbelievable. Genius. You guys saw him shoot that rocket into outer space?
Yeah, we're going to show that video. That was dope.
Ever. Fires it off into space and then parallel parks it back to planet Earth. Meanwhile, Kamala supporters can't parallel park their Toyota Priuses properly. Sorry, I listen to Elon Musk. I follow his lead. The world's smartest, richest man has my attention. Except for when it comes to stock trading, then I listen to Nancy Pelosi. But censorship is amongst us, people. It's a very, very, very big deal. And I'm just here to say that you guys are for the right candidate. Tell your friends. Let's close it out. And let's make speech free again. Make America healthy again. Let's beat the team from California. The team from New York should beat the team from California, not only in this election, but in the World Series of baseball, America's sport. I love you, New York. God bless New York. God bless America. Let's make it great again. I love you. Thank you. Welcome.
Offensive or nah? Offensive or nah? That is the question. Like I said, this is the speech. Like, I saw a few speeches. I think that they'll definitely bring up Dr. Phil's speech. There was a lot. And I think this was the first time that Dr. Phil really just jumped out the window completely with his support for Trump. I believe that wasn't he on The View maybe a few months ago, where he wasn't endorsing Trump, but now it seems like on both sides they're pulling out all stops, whether it's Beyonce with Kamala. I know a lot of people were mad at that. Dang, we should show the video. Do we have? I think we have the video of showing last week when Beyonce was endorsing Kamala. A lot of people, apparently a lot of people left. They always show you these videos where you don't know completely if people were really leaving or if people were really booing. I think, the matter of fact, I think I saw the videos with the boos because a lot of people wanted Beyonce to perform and came there for her. And apparently she only did like a 3-minute speech. But yeah, there's a lot. It is crunch time. It is crunch time. And first and foremost, happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I was able to go to the Berkshires, Great Barrington. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar, but that's all right. So if you're from Jersey, that's the Poconos. You know how we go to the Poconos in PA? So that's kind of like Boston, I guess, their version of the Poconos, but it was real dope. I enjoyed it. Beyonce. Hey, yo, Queen, stop playing with me. Beyonce. What did he say? Joe Biden sleeping. He said Joe Biden's taking a nap. And Kamala's having dance parties with Beyonce. Yo. Did you hear the music video that they made with it where they remixed? Oh, my God. Yo, hold up. Somebody send me that. Somebody send me that. Oh, man. Hold on. I think I actually have it. If not, I'll have it by the end of the show. Send me that Beyonce Donald Trump video you showed me yesterday. Donald Trump video. All right, so we'll have it by the end of the show. But yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. We're gonna get right into it today. All right, it's on the way. So the Beyonce video is on the way. So don't fret. All right, so this is what we're gonna do today. So was gonna introduce y'all. We'll start off the show with a lesson from 48 Laws of Power. I want to start off with that. And then we're going to get into a couple different videos. We have one on Eric Adams being asked about Trump being a fascist. We're going to go over a couple different highlights for Trump. We're going to go over, do we have anything for Kamala? This show will be mostly Trump. But we will. So Kamala, I'm sure we'll have some content from Kamala because she's going to go on Club Shay Shay today. So we'll have some interesting stuff on that. All right. So the video was just sent over. Hold on. Should I play it now since we're talking about it? All right. So this is the music video, but the clip is in the beginning. All right. Let me see if I can save this thing for y'all, man. Hold up. Let me see if I can pull this thing up for y'all. Hold on. Hold up. Beyonce. See, Queez. Blame Queez, man. Or give credit to Queez, not blame Queez. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this thing up here. Let me see.
Beyonce. Joe Biden is asleep. Kamala is at a dance party with Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party with Beyonce.
Did y'all see this?
Dance party with Beyonce. 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 Beyonce.
Rolling is so corny, bro.
Beyonce. 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 Dance party with Beyonce. Dance party
y'all
with
get it. Y'all
Beyonce.
get it. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. All right,
Dance
y'all
party
get
with
it.
Beyonce.
It's more fun when you're watching it the first time. So hopefully that was y'all first time. If not, it is what it is. But let's get it. So like I was saying before I interrupted myself. So we're going to go over a couple different things that happened over the last couple weeks, who's supporting who. There's been some shifts. We've been talking about the parties having some sort of shift for the last, I don't know, year and a half, it seems like. But we're definitely seeing a lot of people who traditionally go one way, leaning a different way. And who knows how that's going to impact when people actually go to the voting booths. So we'll just have to wait and see. However, I have a prediction. My prediction right now I'm allowed to change my prediction. One time I predicted that Kamala would win. But my prediction right now, hold on. Sorry about that. My prediction right now is Trump is going to win this thing in a landslide. Trump is going to win this election in a landslide. And it seems like it's given off You ever watch like either a boxing match or, man, I hate to bring up this one, but like with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. All right, no, I'm not going to use that. All right, you ever watch like where it seems like they're trying to hype it up as if it's going to be a tight game, but then as you get closer and closer, you're realizing like, wait, like one team seems to be having a lot of the momentum, seems to have a lot of advantages, and whether it's the polls or based on previous polls, Trump is outperforming where a lot of Republicans have been getting the support from a lot of different groups that traditionally do not give the support to Republicans. So all these things kind of combined in one. It seems like it's going to be a blowout game, but then we're going to look back and say like, well, of course it was a blowout. Look at this, look at that, look at this. So I don't know. That's my feelings right now. It could change. It could change. But right now, I'm really predicting Trump in a landslide. I'm predicting Trump in a landslide. So we're going to review. We got a couple clips, couple timestamps from Trump on Joe Rogan that we're going to discuss, a few timestamps on Trump's rally at MSG, some things that I wanted to show y'all and get y'all opinion on. Then we got a couple crazies, got people screaming at kids because their parents are on the other side of the, I guess, on a different political gang. And then a few other videos that we always put on the schedule, but probably will never get to. But it's all good. It's all good. So let me actually start off right now with, hold on. Let me blow my nose real quick and then start off with a lesson from 48 Laws of Power with Robert Greene. And we're back. All right. So 48 Laws of Power. This is going to be quick. I'm not reading an entire lesson, but just wanted to give y'all a gem that I got from this book, something that I definitely need to incorporate into my day-to-day life more. So this comes from law number 9, win through your actions, never through argument. Win through your actions, never through argument. All right. And for all the people that just came for the politics, just give me a second. This definitely involves politics. Politics is just another way of saying, to me, it's just the exchange or the fight for power, the leverage of power. So, or at least how you can use it. So when you hear win through your actions, never through argument, what do we see from a political standpoint right now? Everybody's just arguing. Whether you're trying to prove your point to your parents, to your kids, to somebody at work, to a stranger on the bus, or somebody you just see at the bar, your significant other, whatever it may be, we're realizing that this exact lesson or the importance of it, where you win through your actions, never through argument. What they're saying is that you have to show people, allow people to see that they're wrong for themselves. This is what the book is suggesting. Allow people to see that they're wrong for themselves rather than trying to argue them. And they showed a couple different examples, but I'm going to focus on one with Michelangelo. And I'm just going to read you, I believe it's only 2 paragraphs. All right. One's going to set the scene and the other's going to tell the story. All right. So take a listen to this. So weeks later, as Michelangelo, and just to give y'all a little backdrop, Michelangelo was hired to fix something that a lot of people thought that he couldn't fix. It was a stone that somebody had messed up. And of course, he came in and he took on the job to fix it and to make something, a masterpiece out of something that they thought was ruined. So take a listen. Weeks later, as Michelangelo was putting the final touches on the statue, Soderini entered the studio. Fancying himself a bit of a connoisseur, he studied the huge work. He told Michelangelo that while he thought it was magnificent, the nose, he judged, was too big. Michelangelo realized that Soderini was standing in a place right under the giant figure and did not have the proper perspective. Without a word, he gestured for Soderini to follow him up the scaffolding. Reaching the nose, he picked up his chisel as well as a bit of marble dust that lay on the planks. With Soderini just a few feet below him on the scaffolding, Michelangelo started to tap lightly with the chisel, letting the bits of dust he had gathered in his hand to fall little by little. He actually did nothing to change the nose, so he didn't even do anything, but gave every appearance of working on it. After a few minutes of this charade, he stood aside. "Look at it now. I like it better," replied Soderini. "You've made it come alive." All right, you understand that part? One more sentence, one more paragraph. In the realm of power, you must learn to judge your moves by their long-term effects on people. All right, you must learn to judge your moves by their long-term effects on people. You may think that you won that argument with somebody that you're close to, significant other, parent, family, whoever. However, and they may even acknowledge it. However, there may be a lot of things that come with you winning that argument that you're not necessarily aware of. So in the realm of power, you must learn to judge your moves by their long-term effects on people. The problem in trying to prove a point or gain a victory through argument is that in the end, you can never be certain how it affects the people you're arguing with. They may appear to agree with you politely, but inside they may resent you, or perhaps something you said inadvertently even offended them. Words have that insidious ability to be interpreted according to the other person's mood and insecurities. Whew, one more time. Words have that insidious ability to be interpreted according to the other person's mood and insecurities. Even the best argument has no solid foundation, for we have all come to distrust the slippery nature of words. And days after agreeing with someone, we often revert to our old opinion out of sheer habit. Can't argue. Sometimes you got to just show people. So you know what my energy is for this election? No matter who wins, we deserve who we get. We deserve who we get. We deserve exactly who we get. No matter who becomes president, whether it's Kamala, whether it's Donald Trump, we deserve who we get. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So we can argue, we can do all the arguments, we can do all these things, but it just goes to show us how much we live in such an emotional based society rather than a logical based society, because that's the connection that I make. When you say that, when you're talking about you can't win in an argument because people are going to be in their feelings and you can't convince people. And I'm not sure if you heard in the joke that Tony Hinchcliffe was making where he said, you know, you used to be able to tell your mom to just be able to Google something. But people right now in this election, it doesn't matter what you tell people, people are just going to lean one way. The arguments are not worth it. Sometimes you just got to show people. And if it was more about showing, then people wouldn't even have to have all these arguments, because we'd just be able to look at what this candidate has done and judge them on that, and look at what that candidate has done and judge them on that, rather than judging people on hope and future promises. So that's where I am right now with it. Let's see. We already got some stuff in the chat. May have to. I see a lot of language that is worthy of YouTube coming in and getting in the mix. Let me see if I can read some. Oh, hold on. Queen said, I like that. Blame Queens. You think him holding a self-proclaimed Nazi rally, yes, speakers on stage called it that, is going to help him win by a landslide? We have it early. We have KD. Sometimes I really think that y'all think that I'm planting these people in the conversations to make points. KD, can you please send the link or the timestamp? I have the speech pulled up, or any speech. As a matter of fact, if you can send the link to where it was a self-proclaimed Nazi rally, saying that speakers on stage called it that. Send the link over. I'll just leave it at that. No, we don't need to argue, right? There's no need to argue. You just send the link, and then we'll take a look at it and judge it off of that. I didn't hear any of that. I also didn't see that on the news. I didn't even see MSNBC discussing that. But you may be right, KD. So just send us the link, and then we'll take a look at it, and we'll review it right here with you. I'm looking forward to you sending the link. All right. So KD wrote, Trump effectively threw the election for himself last night. So Trump threw the election for him last night. KD, let me ask you, if it's okay with you, is it okay for you to tell us who you're leaning towards or which side you're supporting? Mark wrote, self-proclaimed what? Mark, I'm on this. Hey, just send us the link. So KD wrote, I may seem out of place speaking at a Nazi rally, but when they asked me, I said I'm doing it. KD. This is what we are seeing live, exactly what happens with mainstream media. Like, who said this? What was the context? Was it a joke? Like, come on, man. Was it a play? Was it a shot at mainstream media? I don't know. Just send us the link. But KD, I'm going to tell you this. I will tell you this, KD. You seem to be a Democrat supporter. Now, you can definitely correct me if I'm wrong. But you seem to be a Democratic supporter. And when you say these things, as I'm an independent, I didn't vote Democrat or Republican the last 2 years, 2 terms. So I consider myself an independent. when you say stuff like this, it doesn't, it's like the fear mongering is not working, KD. It doesn't do anything to me. I'm just being totally honest. When you sit here and tell me that Trump was at a Nazi rally yesterday, it's like, bro, like, is that really what we have to go to in order to convince us to vote for Kamala? I'm assuming that's what you're looking to do. Mark wrote, it's called mockery. Mac Daddy wrote, did you see Gretchen Whitmer mocking communion, giving her daughters a Dorito? Wow, I didn't even see that. KD, it's called fascism. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is KD. I'm telling you, it's not working. Y'all should choose, respectfully, you should choose a different strategy. All right. So KD said the dude on stage literally said black people carve watermelons on Halloween. The mental gymnastics is crazy. Bro, so what? So what? Yeah, that same dude on stage, he talked about black people, he talked about Muslims, he talked about Jewish people, he talked about Latinos and Hispanics. Like, he talked about everybody. Who, like, now, yo, Trump can't be elected. He had a comedian on stage that was offensive. He was offending black people. A comedian on stage, KD. You know what's offensive to black people? All these damn welfare programs y'all Democrats been giving black people to cripple us and to have our impoverished communities looking how they look right now for the last 70 years. That's what I think is offensive, not a damn watermelon joke. But that's just me, though. You know, maybe some of the other black people feel differently. I'm sure some of the critical race theorists, I'm sure they see it a little bit differently than me. Mac Daddy wrote they were mocking Dems because they were linking it to the 1939 Nazi rally. Yeah, they're making fun of them. Hold on. So KD said he sent the link. KD, I didn't get the link. Did anybody see the link that KD sent? All right, so we're going to keep going. Shout out to KD for giving us some liberal commentary early on. We appreciate that. So KD said that Donald Trump is a fascist. That's going to lead us into our first video that we already have queued up. Now, let's ask Mayor Eric Adams. You know, right? Let's get like let's ask a Democrat. Let's ask a Democrat, KD, if Donald Trump is a fascist, since I'm sure that's where you first heard him being called a fascist. I'm sure you heard it from some of your favorite Democrats. Maybe Hillary said it. I don't know. Maybe Kamala Harris said it. All people that have achieved less than Donald Trump, especially in his 4 years. But let's take a listen anyway. And since who better to give it than somebody who seems to have the Democrats turning on him? So let's take a look at what Mayor Eric Adams responded, how he responded when he was asked.
Campaign about this rally or otherwise, and if you believe, as others have said, that the former president is a fascist. Mr. Mayor, I wondered if I could ask you about any communications you've been having with the Trump campaign about this rally or otherwise, and if you believe, as others have said, that the former president is a fascist.
You know, I have been had those terms hurled at me by some political leaders in the city. Using terms like Hitler and fascist. My answer is no. I know what Hitler has done, and I know what a fascist regime looks like. I think, as I've called over and over again, that the level of conversation, I think we could all dial down the temperature. And I've heard people say that the former president should not be able to have a rally in Madison Square Garden. I strongly disagree. This is America. This is New York. And I think it's important that we allow individuals to exercise their right.
Hold on. But KD, it's, oh my God, this is so offensive, right? The mental gymnastics. And this is what a lot of Democrats do. This is what I'm realizing. So go back to KD's comment when he wrote, the dude on stage literally said black people carve watermelons. The mental gymnastics is crazy. What a lot of liberal Democrats, they say, they try to, and this is what Barack did. This is what Michelle Obama is doing. Matter of fact, I actually give credit because Kamala Harris is not doing this. But they're trying to insult the intelligence of black people, in my opinion. When they start saying, you should be offended by this, black people, you should be offended by this, whether you're black or another race, telling black people, you should be offended by this. Telling me that I should be offended by a joke on stage. Well, let's say, let's see if, okay, so let's actually assume that I should be offended by this. Let's actually assume that I should be offended by a joke about carving watermelons in Halloween. Does that mean that I should vote for Kamala? Does that mean that I should not vote for Donald Trump? Does that mean that Donald Trump is Hitler? Like, is that the connection that you're drawing? Like, do you actually think? Like, I know that the politicians like to say it. I know they throw it out there for fear-mongering purposes and all these other things. Do you actually think, like, I actually, and this is, damn, I actually never even thought about it to this extent, where I thought that the people watching it didn't really think that Donald Trump was Hitler. I thought that it was just something that was being said. But from KD's responses, it seems as if you really actually believe that Donald Trump is like, is that what you're trying to say? To me, that's so offensive to that. To me, that's offensive to Jewish people. To me, you're downplaying the story of what that man did to a particular group of people by comparing him to Donald Trump. But I don't know. Maybe the mental gymnastics are just playing tricks on me. Maybe. It's so what did Mark wrote? No one cracks more black jokes than my. It's oh, so he's one of the black. All right, so KD, it all makes sense. Hold on. And Mac Daddy wrote it. How many black comedians make fun of white people? Sensitive black men. KD, you can't be a sensitive black man. You got to stop this. I am black and I was certainly offended. Racism is offensive. So a comedian making a joke about black people eating watermelons is racist. Please tell me your definition of racist, and please tell me how that falls into that category. I'm glad that y'all are seeing this. This is how black people, this is how from our parents and grandparents, our aunties and our uncles, we have been caught up in voting Democrat, blindly voting for them by thinking that the Republicans are the evil boogeyman under our beds and the racist Republicans. This is how we get caught up in this nonsense. By comedians making jokes? You telling me Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, these people don't make jokes about white people? You telling me I just went to the Dave Chappelle show and he's making jokes about the LGBTQ, making jokes about Ron DeSantis, white people? Like, come on, bro. Like, are we really? This is what happens. And KD, no offense to you, but when we become super sensitive, we become super emotional and we throw logic out the window, and they know that they can control us with all the emotional fear mongering and all the aspects that come with that. And that is why we have these mindsets that turn into anybody but Trump. And then when we have these anybody but Trump mindsets, what happens is we excuse the party that we're supporting blindly and doing anything for us, because they think that we owe them our votes. And we think that we'll give them to us without them delivering on anything, which we have, which it seems like you will do as well, because we're so emotionally involved in it, where everybody else, they have to please them from a logical perspective. But with us, it's just throwing emotional things at us that make us feel good, that make us feel like they're fighting the good fight. They're on the good side of the racist fight. Stop it. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Mark wrote, maybe you're too sensitive, KD. Whites take a lot of heat right on mainstream media. It's like this is when you see the world through race first. This is what happens when you've been convinced to see the world through race first, through the color of your skin. Every situation that you're in, that person didn't hold the door, it's because I'm black. This person looked at me funny in the car dealership because I'm black. This person, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But if you see the world through a certain way, just like when you buy a car, you start to see more on the road. When you believe something is happening, you're going to see more of it, and it's going to impact you in a way. I don't know, negative or positive. So, Uncle Brother, shout out to Uncle Brother in the building. Half morning. What's amazing to me is how frantically Democrats are pointing the finger at Trump, screaming fascist or Nazi, while the Biden administration is steadily funding. Hold on. self-professed authentic Nazis in Ukraine with our hard-earned tax dollars. Interesting. Interesting. Let's keep moving. But isn't that a tactic that people use? It's like, I may be doing something, but I'm just going to accuse them of doing it. Like, I'm accusing you of doing the same thing that I'm doing.
To get their message clear to New Yorkers. And our job as a city and as a police department is to make sure they can do that in a peaceful way. I think that we must be extremely cautious.
AKD, let me ask you a question. As a black man, when you talk about racism, right? Okay. So you got a black man. KD's a black man talking about racism. I'm showing you a video of Mayor Eric Adams, black Democrat mayor of New York City. You're over here supporting Kamala Harris because you want to support Kamala Harris so bad. You're supporting who's trying to get Jill Stein off the ballot? Actually did get Jill Stein off the ballot. Jill Stein is not on the ballot in a lot of states, including New York. Who did Cornel West say was trying to get him off the ballot? The Democrats, the people that are supposedly fighting for democracy. So you're over here more offended by a joke that somebody made at a rally, a comedian. You're more offended to that and calling that racist, but you're not calling out the fact that the Democrats are trying to keep Cornel West, a black man, off of the ballot. You're not calling that racist. You're not calling it racist when, because Mayor Eric Adams is doing his job and calls out the problems that the migrant crisis with all the migrants that were dropped off in New York City have created with the infrastructure within New York City, with them not being able to handle it. But now they're trying to, and now they just indicted Mayor Eric Adams, a black man, but now the comedian's racist. You're not worried about Mayor Eric Adams though, right? You're not worried about Cornel West being kept off the ballot from the supposed Democratic Party. It is insane. This is these are the emotional, you said gymnastics, mental gymnastics. These are the mental gymnastics that are played on people like you, KD. So KD responded. Let's see. The Klan started as just a joke. Cross burning started as just a joke. Slave leasing is literally legal in Alabama right now because people think it's just a joke. Okay, so KD, you said you were going to send the link, the other link. You never sent it, unless I just didn't see it. If somebody else saw it, please copy and paste it again and resend it. I didn't see it. You did, so you didn't send that link. Now you're telling me that the Klan started as just a joke. Cross burnings started as just a joke. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. See this? Damn, bro. They did a toll. I tell you what, the Democrats have done a toll on black men. The Democrats have done a toll on black men. Come on, man. Like, jeez. He committed $10 million in fraud. Like, what? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So Mayor Eric Adams committed $10 million in fraud. And see, this is the thing. This is the thing. So notice what's happening. KD, the person that please, everybody, please, I'm doing this for a reason. I know a lot of people that probably listen all the time. I know my parents are probably like, Yak, move on. No, I'm not moving on. You want to know why I'm not moving on? Because think about this. This is why you're just responding to try to make a point, to try to argue. You just said that he committed $10 million in fraud. Did he go to court yet? Was that proven? Did he say that he did that? Or was he just accused of it? Oh, so KD, when a black man is accused of something, he's definitely guilty of it, right? But that's not racist. I thought it was innocent until proven guilty. This is the problem. This is what has happened to black men. Black men. Damn, bro. Like, come on. This doesn't even sound manly. Like, this doesn't... Anybody looking at this situation with Mayor Eric Adams, matter of fact, when we went back on the show, or when it first happened, when he came out and said, and called out the Democrats for sending all the migrants there, we said on the show, this is going to be a problem in the Democratic Party. And this is what it's turned into. So Mac Daddy wrote, what about when Biden in the 70s said all blacks should be locked up? It's funny that you bring up a video of Biden in the 70s. I actually have one that I just saved earlier today, where it was Biden talking about, I forget exactly what he was talking about, but it was him like completely changing his stance on like something with immigration. But yeah, this is Jill Stein. Uncle Brother wrote, Jill Stein is not on the ballot in DC either, and yet RFK Jr. is still on the ballot despite having withdrawn from the race. So KD, is this racist? Is this racist? They're trying to keep Jill Stein on the. Come on, man. The war on poverty. Yeah, the war on poverty was racist. Was Joe Biden, his involvement in the crime bill, was that racist too? KD wrote, no, but all his staffers have proved and stitched on him. There's a huge paper trail. The indictment is public, dude. Biden is a piece of S2. That doesn't make Trump not a Nazi. So I just wanted to be clear. Oh, a happy birthday balloon just went by the window. So let's just be clear. KD, I'm glad that you acknowledged it. KD is a black man who thinks Trump is a Nazi. That's the world that we're living in. If I was a Jewish person, I would be so offended by somebody, a black man in America, I'm assuming you're in America, wherever you are, calling Trump a Nazi. Like think about it. What if Trump's a Nazi and if Trump's like Hitler, wouldn't people, if anything, that would make me question certain things about what I was told regarding the Nazis and Hitler. Wait, Trump is like Hitler? Y'all are telling me that Trump is like Hitler? So, but I thought you told me Hitler was doing all these things that were destroying populations, eugenics, all these. That's not what Trump's doing. So was Hitler not that bad? Are you trying to say that Hitler wasn't that bad? Like, stop it. Stop it. Y'all are reaching. Y'all are scrambling so much. It's embarrassing, bro. And KD, let them say those talking points. You don't have to repeat them. Like, just because you're rooting for the Democrats and that's on your side, you don't have to repeat these points that just make absolutely no sense. Let's keep going.
The heat we turn up today, pre-election, is going to have to be the heat we're going to have to govern it. And I think we need to show a level of respectable communication. And so when people called me fascist and other terminologies, I didn't like it. And I don't think it's fitting to anyone to state that the former president is equal to being Hitler. I just think that this is a city where we have the largest Jewish population. Anti-Semitism is on a rise nationally. We need to do everything we can to push back on that level of anti-Semitic tone and anti-Semitic issues that we're facing in the city. Let's have a safe, fair, democratic process and show the globe how we're able to do it correctly.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, I wondered if
Let me get off of this real quick. So I see a lot of the comments, and you just made me think about something. KD, and I want to show y'all this video. So since Trump is racist and all these other things, all right. Let me see if I can find this video. I just found it. All right. So Trump is racist, right? Okay, cool. I want y'all to look at this video.
President Trump, we as Muslims stand with President Trump. Good afternoon, Michiganders. As the president said, we just had a positive meeting with President Trump. We as Muslims stand with President Trump because he promises peace. He promises peace, not war. We are supporting Donald Trump because he promised to end war in the Middle East and Ukraine.
It's just mind-boggling how people can be convinced. And like, I have to go back to KD, but I'm not trying to pick on KD. How a black man, it's just, we have been so beaten down. And I know that this is the case with a lot of our parents' generation. They grew up in a totally different way. Let me actually hide this for a second. Hold on. So we got to talk about this. Our parents grew up in a totally different way than us, and we have to extend grace in recognizing that. Our parents, our aunties, our grandparents, they grew up with a certain level of fear that was just normalized in their life. And you see it shows up in a lot of different ways. It shows up in something as simple as how you dress. And shout out to my dad. This is my pop's jacket right here. Yeah. But it shows up in how you, even dressing for work. Black people in our parents' generation and our grandparents, they had this mindset that they really felt that there was somebody holding them down and they had to be better than the competition because they're Black. They had to dress a certain way and be politically correct and do all these things to adjust, to fit more in to what was deemed acceptable. I don't move around like that. Call it arrogant, call it confident. I don't know. I always tell people, maybe I just haven't been humbled yet. I don't know. But I'm just not seeing life like that. I refuse to see life like that. But that is how our parents and our grandparents, or I should say how our parents were taught to see life, based on survival, based on what they think they needed to do in order to survive, in order to put food on the table. I refuse to see the world like that. I refuse to see myself as a victim. I refuse all these things, but I understand why our parents see it that way. I understand why our parents can be nervous about us speaking on certain things, because when they were growing up and maybe around our age, you could not speak on these type of things because there was this fear that it would turn into something very negative, because they were much closer to maybe when people were being hung on trees at a high rate, when it was Jim Crow, when it was a lot of things that were happening that are not happening now. You could sit here and say, well, this one-off, this happened. Okay, that happened. But it is different. We are living in a different world, and I think any honest person would acknowledge that. We are living in a different world than that. And I don't know. For me, it's just, I refuse to see the world like that. I refuse to jump on and say, so here, let's look what, oh man. Let's get, all right. So KD wrote, Muslim is a religion, but to that point, Trump also implemented a self-proclaimed Muslim ban. KD, if Muslim is a religion, is Judaism a religion? Answer that question. I don't know. Right? Are we saying that are you saying? Okay. Mark wrote, a Nazi Trump wouldn't have funded Jesse Jackson's run for president twice. A Nazi Trump wouldn't have sent his private plane out to Nelson Mandela when Nelson Mandela couldn't get around and just tell his family that he could just use it. Trump did not become racist until he started to run for the election. All these people that call him racist, that KD is clearly listening to, those were people that loved him. All right, so we got another one. Dennis, Trump said the babbling idiot. So Mark wrote, watch Trump with the young Black future leaders and how he encourages them to get politically active and run for office. A Nazi would never do that. It's almost, I'm going to be honest. All right. I have to confess, a lot of this stuff I'm just entertaining just to talk to y'all on the show. To be totally honest, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, we probably shouldn't even be going back and forth with it, because what ends up happening, we just end up spending 40 minutes talking about Trump being a Nazi and fascist. This is what that means, that the liberal mainstream media talking points have won. However, I do feel that it's necessary to address, because it's like, yo, KD, where are you right now? You at work? You getting ready for work? You getting ready for work? If Trump, like, the fact that I have to even say this, and I think Mark wrote it in the comments, or Uncle Brother, somebody wrote it, where if Trump was a Nazi, you wouldn't be comfortable writing the things that you're writing right now. You wouldn't be. And the reason why I say that is based on hearing a lot of the stories of Jewish people and what they got in trouble for and what they were fearful of. And then also understanding from a black perspective in America, what a lot of slaves scared to death to speak on certain things. So it's almost like, all right, so let me move on. Y'all are probably just saying move on. All right, no worries. Let's listen to the rest of this video. I thought that this video was super, this group of support. And it's not just the Muslims in Michigan, but when you look at all these groups that have been a shoo-in for Democrats, whether it's the black men that they're calling out, whether it's the Teamsters Labor Union, whether it's the Washington Post, whether it's the LA Times, whether it's the Border Patrol. Well, I don't know if Border Patrol typically goes in favor of Republicans. However, you would think that a sitting president and a sitting vice president who's running for president, you would think that they would have good relationships with the current border union, right? Like you would think that they, since they're working with them, compared to the racist, fascist Trump, who just got out of office 4 years ago. He was in office, right? And then Biden and Kamala, I know Kamala likes to act like as if she's bringing about some change, as if she wasn't there for the last 3.5 years. But to have Donald Trump get the support of a lot of these different groups, how do you have the support? Not only do the Democrats not have the support of Jewish people, but when you see a video like this, they don't even have the support of Muslims. Now, I know somebody like KD will say, well, that's just the mental gymnastics that Trump is playing on people because KD is smarter than everybody and he knows that the way he's seeing it is the right way, and that all these people that are leaning in a direction away from Kamala Harris and towards Donald Trump, they're just not seeing the mental gymnastics being played on them. We understand, brother. We understand. But let's just say that that's the case. Let's just say that he is using mental gymnastics. Isn't the thing that you asked for, y'all liberals asked for, is the country to be united? Don't we want a united front? Don't we want to bring people that typically are warring together? Do you think that it's interesting that when Trump was in office, he was able to not have any wars? One of the first presidents to not have a war. He was able to start bringing about peace treaties in the Middle East region. I believe it was with the Abraham Accords. So, and now, after 3.5 years of leadership from Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, now things are in turmoil. Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Palestine. Now Trump is saying that he can go there and solve that. He actually said that he could solve a lot of it before he even actually takes office. But if he's saying that, and we're seeing him at rallies get the support of Muslim groups I believe the Michigan is one of the highest Muslim population in the country. So if he's able to win that support and also have the support from Jews who we know are not supporting, or let me rephrase that, from a lot of Jewish and Israeli people who are frustrated with a lot of the super liberal and progressive stances on the Israel-Palestine conflict. I'm not saying that one side is right, one side's wrong. What I'm saying is that Trump is the one that is bringing both sides together, while the Democrats who are actually in office right now, both sides are angry at them. They're playing both sides. They're giving one group guns and the other group sandwiches. It's like, let's keep going with the video. My apologies. Oh, sorry. Hold on. My fault. I'm over here. I started the
bloodshed has to stop all over the world. And I think this man can make that happen. I personally believe that God saved his life twice for a reason. Good afternoon.
All right. We'll move on. I tell you, what we're witnessing, in my opinion, I don't know if y'all feel it as well, but what we're witnessing is a very unique election and a transfer of power, in my opinion. I don't know if I want to call it some sort of enlightenment, but it seems like a lot of people are waking up. It seems like a lot of people are waking up. It's and it's so funny how KD, he just wrote, "We did have war under Trump." That's another one of his lies. A lot of people accuse him of lying, right? But they never say, you would think that if KD is going to write, that's another one of his lies, KD, you would tell us the war that he's in, right? Just tell us the war. You were supposed to send the link. You never sent the link. You're supposed to send something else 60 seconds ago that I already forgot. And now you're telling us that we were involved in wars, but you didn't actually say the war. But it's like I don't know. All right, we're gonna move on. Mark, man, I need y'all to handle KD, and I can't keep getting too sidetracked. But we appreciate KD. We appreciate KD and his stance. So let me ask y'all another question that I kind of thought about when I was listening or watching all these videos and thinking about all the people that have taken their support from the Democrats. If the Teamsters took their support, huge labor union, right? Huge labor union, didn't support Kamala. Washington Post didn't support Kamala. Typically, I believe the Washington Post and the LA Times typically support Democrats. The Washington Post even came out and said, we're no longer endorsing candidates. Like, damn, Kamala, that's what you did? LA Times, Kamala, this is you were the second in charge in Cali. LA ain't endorsing you. Border Patrol Union, right? Borders are, not borders are. Some people say she was in control of the border. I know she likes to say that, well, she was just responsible for trying to figure out the root of the problem and why people were coming over. I don't know. You got the greatest country, right? We're the greatest country. Why wouldn't people want to get in here? Especially when you take a look at a lot of the things happening in other countries. So I don't know. But the question that I wanted to ask y'all was, if all of these other groups are completely like shifting their stance and going to an entirely different group and going for the fascist, going for the guy that's like Hitler, right? If all these other groups are doing it, why are the Democrats, why is Obama, why is Michelle Obama? And matter of fact, Maya, if you could send me that video of Michelle Obama's speech, that'll be good. I want to highlight that because I took that as very offensive. But when you have all these Democratic leaders trying to call out black men, stop acting like black men are the only group of people that are leaving the Democratic Party. And to be totally honest, the overwhelming majority of black men are still going to vote for Kamala Harris. But notice these are the mental gymnastics that KD won't talk about. Everybody's talking about black men are leaving. So are white men. Young black men, young white men are leaving the Democratic Party, are moving their support. So why is the focus on black men? And it's because, in my opinion, of black men like KD, who and our parents and our grandparents or our aunties and uncles who have just given their support for so long to a group where they've been giving them support without getting anything in return, where they actually, now the group actually feels that we are entitled, like we're entitled to these black people's group, to their black people support. The nerve of these niggas. That's how it comes across when Barack Obama speaks to us, when Michelle Obama is telling black women to go get their husbands right, to go make sure that their husbands are right. Like Michelle, it doesn't work that way. This is the problem. You have a Michelle Obama who's encouraging black women to go talk to black men in their families to ultimately vote for Kamala Harris, not even realizing that the problem in black families has been the lack of male leadership. The lack of male leadership, because Michelle Obama, what did Barack say? It's the pookies that are voting for Donald Trump, right? It's not the intelligent black men that are voting for Donald Trump. It's the Pookies. That's what Barack Obama said. So understand their mindset in all this. So then when Michelle Obama tells the women to convince the men, what she's pretty much saying is that, fellas, black men, you're not capable. You're not seeing this the right way. You're not capable of making this decision. You're not intelligent enough to make an informed decision about who should be the president of our country. These are how all these things are connected. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just reaching. Maybe I'm just reaching. Could be. It is what it is. All right, so we're going to go to, hold on. If it's okay, we're going to go to a couple different points of the Joe Rogan on Donald Trump. So we got a couple different timestamps with Joe Rogan on Donald Trump. Hold on, let me find I want to find the full clip. Hold on. Powerful JRE, Donald Trump. All right, let's go to that. We're going to go to a different one, but let's get to that. Hold on one second. Oh, why didn't I have to, hold on. Powerful Joe Rogan. All right, here we go. All right, we'll go to the full video so that way the clips will line up, the timestamps. A couple different things that I want to show y'all. A couple different things. So let's go to 2 hours and 10 seconds. All right, we'll start it here.
You want, but I got to be a little bit careful with the liquid gold, you know?
I understand. But listen, there's plenty of good work that could be done if you focus on health.
Here's the one that my all-time favorite, though.
What is that?
See the arrow right here? That's one I left.
Do you have anyone that is pressuring you to not work with him? Have there been people
to not
that
work
are
with
reaching?
who?
So just to give y'all some context, they were having a conversation about RFK Jr. So for all y'all that listen on a regular basis, y'all know that RFK Jr., that was the candidate that I was supporting. The reason why, when RFK Jr. first went over to Trump, I was not one of these people that automatically brought my support over to Trump. I wanted to see how exactly, if he was using, RFK Jr. There were a lot of thoughts that came to mind. Because with a lot of people, what ends up happening is like, okay, oh yeah, come over here. Yeah, you get your people to support my people. And then once I get elected, I'll take care of you. That was not what Trump did with RFK Jr. He was giving him instant platforms to speak on the things that were very important to me, whether it's the disease epidemics, the vaccines, whether it was the overall health and wellness in our country, where it's going against big pharma, calling out the Food and Drug Administration for getting rid of a lot of these toxic chemicals and ingredients that we have in our foods. These were a lot of the things that were very important to me. Listen to how Trump, and we always said, a lot of people said, oh, he's just bringing him on board to get to get RFKs. Well, okay, cool. Donald Trump has lost, in my opinion, or he risked a lot of the support that he's gotten within Big Pharma, because we're acting as if Big Pharma, maybe people think that Big Pharma just endorses the Democrats. I thought that would be a biased take. It actually would be in my favor to present it that way. But Big Pharma, they support Democrat and Republicans. Food and Drug Administration, relationships with Democrats and Republicans. How? Because, well, if Big Pharma has a relationship with the Democrats and Republicans, and obviously the Food and Drug Administration, because they're all connected. That's the whole BlackRock connection, all the elites, right? So when we look at them, listen to Donald Trump describe the risk that came with bringing on a guy like RFK Jr.
That is pressuring you to not work with him. Have there been people
to not
that are
work with
reaching
who?
RFK Jr.?
Yes.
Yes, I would imagine. Because financially, he could put a dent.
I would say that, and I think in many ways they've done a good job. In many ways they've done a bad job. But I would say that the Big Pharma wasn't thrilled when they heard that, I have a relation. I've actually always gotten along very well with him. I've known him a long time. He's a different kind of a guy. He's very smart, great guy. And he's very sincere about this. I mean, he really is, he thinks we spend a fortune on pesticides and all this stuff, and then you end up with that chart is a terrible chart, the one previous. It's such a bad chart when you look at where we are compared to other countries that don't spend 10 cents.
Right.
So, and you save a lot of money. But, yeah, I've had some people that aren't exactly thrilled. You can imagine, right?
Sure.
It's a good question, actually.
Well, certainly if there
it doesn't
been
affect me.
some pharmaceutical drugs that have been prescribed that have negative consequences that these people have been profiting off of, and then you have a guy like RFK Jr. who spends an enormous amount of time highlighting those things, you could say how they'd be very reluctant to have you support him.
I would say that's an understatement. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what's so funny? I got to go back. I'm not going to say a name, but you know what's so funny with a lot of black people that call out Donald Trump for being racist? Donald Trump just brought on RFK Jr. RFK Jr., look it up, has a history of helping a lot of impoverished communities, the small guy, the people that a lot of these big corporations poison them, whether it's the Ford plant, whether it's the water with the New York water system, with them putting toxic water going to the impoverished areas, largely black areas and neighborhoods, compared to the white neighborhoods receiving the clean water. Donald Trump brings on a guy like RFK Jr. What I remember when 2020 happened and the pandemic, and people were saying that it's going to hurt black communities more because of they face a lot of the based on their health not being the health being what it is, eating worse food, dealing with more cases of diabetes, having a more compromised immune system, just based on our overall health being less than a lot of other communities in these impoverished areas. So Trump brings on RFK Jr., who actually wants to make America healthy again, right? Who has a track record of it, who actually lives it, right? Track record, lives it. Not only lives it, but works it. He does both. This is his career. He's an environmental attorney. This is what he's done. So he brings on a guy like RFK Jr. that wants to make the country healthier again, that wants to attack big pharma, who preys on a lot of these impoverished areas, who wants to address and hold the Food and Drug Administration to a higher standard, which preys on a lot of black communities. So we don't make that connection, but we'll make the connection about a comedian making a joke at his rally. But we won't make the connection about bringing on RFK Jr. to address a lot of these issues that overwhelmingly impact black and impoverished communities more than others. But I digress.
So what do you do to stop that from getting in the way?
Well, look, they've come up with some amazing things. I mean, I don't know how you feel. I know you're against certain vaccines, but like the polio vaccine, people had polio. It was like a disaster. And they came up, Dr. Salk, and he came up with a vaccine, and there's no polio. Now, very interesting, there hasn't been polio, but now in the Gaza Strip, can you believe that? Have you heard that? There's been a big strain of polio coming out in the Gaza Strip.
Is it vaccine-derived polio? Because, there's a strain of polio that comes directly from the vaccine, because unfortunately sometimes when you vaccinate people for polio, you actually give them polio.
I haven't heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all I can do is I sit down and I listen to him and I'll give it a total. I would love him to be right, because if he's right, it's a lot less expensive, generally speaking.
There's two things that...
Yo, man. Let's go to this other clip. I don't want to keep talking y'all heads.
Well, it's a narrative, right? And it's a narrative that appeals to people that are not doing well. Yeah. And they're like, our problems are that these rich people are not paying taxes.
Well, the problems are the rich people are going to leave and they're going to close up their companies, and then the other people aren't going to have jobs. That's what happens.
It does happen in other countries.
But the whole, because you brought it up.
So just to be clear, this is what we're talking about, taxes. And we've talked about this before on the show. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but a lot of people talk about Donald Trump giving like a lot of corporations tax, like cutting the corporate tax, and not realizing how a lot of this stuff works, in my opinion. If you take a risk as an entrepreneur and you are hiring people in a company, you deserve to have tax breaks. While everybody else that works at your company benefits and has the privilege of a 9-to-5 benefits package, they know exactly when they're getting paid. They're getting paid the same amount every 2 weeks or whatever, their pay period is. Their pay doesn't go up and down based on the overall company's performance. They deserve to get a break. Like, the nerve of people The nerve of people, and this is what a lot of people, I suggest that a lot of people try to start their own business. I suggest that a lot of people try to start their own business, go broke, go through all the ups and downs, all the obstacles. I know that a lot of people living in this country just like to think of the only people that are wealthy were people that were just born wealthy. Like nobody went out and actually took a risk, right? Nobody's opening up all these businesses. I know that we like in our minds to just think that, oh, no, wealthy people, they just, were born with wealth. Everybody was just born with wealth. Okay, cool. Once you get past that, then you'll understand that all the risk, everything that goes into it, and all the benefits that people that are not willing to open up their own businesses and take the risks that come with that, all the privilege that is provided by them to people that they hire. Now, what he's saying, I don't know if that's true. Joe Rogan said it as well, which is a lot of companies will move or shut down or hire less people or whatever that may be if you're not giving them that particular corporate tax cut or whatever, Donald Trump is proposing. But whether it's Donald Trump proposing it, whether it's Democrats, that's just my mindset on it. So I'm not sure. I haven't dove into the particulars of his exact plan when it comes to cutting, corporate taxes. But that is my mindset going into it, as far as just seeing the risk that it takes and understanding that if people do not decide to if we don't have entrepreneurs, then there's not going to be any 9-to-5s. Like a 9-to-5 is just a successful entrepreneur who's able to hire you. Like unless you work for a government or state agency. Most people work for people that were entrepreneurs that took all these risks, and now they give you the comfort based on you working for them. So I don't know.
I'll tell you what, he's doing a very good job in Virginia. Glenn Youngkin, I don't know if you like him, not like him.
I don't know him.
But you don't know him, the governor of Virginia? So we have a case where they found thousands of illegal ballots. A judge just ruled that they have to be able to vote. Just happened today. Just before I walked in here, I heard a judge just ruled that you have to keep those people in. They're illegal. They're illegal votes. Now, I think they'll be overturned at the next court. One thing I found, because I had a couple of things that they get overturned a little bit, the system.
All right. So that's the main thing I wanted to discuss on that. And it's actually funny that he brings up the voting. I was going to play this other video a little bit later, but actually maybe it's connected to what he just said regarding a lot of these people that are voting. All right. So matter of fact, yeah, we'll make a pivot. That's what we do. All right. So I want y'all to take a look at this video right here. So this is the lieutenant governor of Virginia. Now, this is regarding voting. Now, I'm going to play the full video just so you can kind of understand the concept, because for me, it kind of took a little bit. Well, I'm going to try to play the full video. It took a little bit for me to understand, but hopefully you guys can get an understanding as well. But it seems to be that I'm going to read the caption. A corrupt judge. This Virginia's lieutenant governor is going off because a corrupt judge who ruled to force the state to allow self-identified non-citizens to vote in the 2024 election. All right. So I know a lot of people, Donald Trump has said the elections are fraud, all these things. People who are not on Donald Trump's side like to act as if, no, it's 100% okay. It's just Donald Trump being Donald Trump. Well, here's another person calling it out. So let's take a look.
To immediately ask, there are over 1,500 of them that the judge insanely, incredulously said, Virginia, you must put these people back on the voting rolls. People who told us themselves, check the box, we are not citizens of the United States and therefore not eligible to vote. And the judge said, no, you're going to put those people back on. This is just incredulous to us. And by the way, these people proved with immigration documents they are not citizens, and yet we're told to put them back. There was a time when I was not a citizen of these great United States. I had a green card. I was still a Jamaican citizen, but I applied for citizenship, and thank you very much. I was given that citizenship, and now I am able to vote. So I totally understand how this system works. It would have been unbelievable. Wait, it would have been illegal for me to vote. That's what this is about, and that's why Governor Youngkin has rightly made sure to immediately ask for an injunction against this judge. And if what we have to do is to go all the way to the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court, he has said he is going to do that. We must have elections that are free, fair, integrity. That's what this is about. There is no other issue here. You know, we're just following the Constitution. Yeah. I mean, God forbid that we should do that. The Constitution says if you are an illegal person, well, if you are not eligible to vote because you're not a citizen, then you're not eligible to vote. I'm trying to find the words to make it any simpler than that. And apparently that's controversial. You just cannot make this stuff up. And so we, through Governor Youngkin, is immediately seeking relief from what this federal judge has said. And if we have to, we're going to the United States Supreme Court. And that's why we're saying, folks, there's so many of you who say that you're not interested in politics. Politics is interested in you. You've got to go vote. We've got to make sure all of us just get out there, vote, vote, vote.
Interesting. Interesting. And I just showed that to show that I just played that video to show that a lot of people, I know when they say, oh, the election is fraud and stuff, I know people don't believe it, but there's a lot of people calling this stuff out. A lot of people calling this stuff out. So let's actually move on to Donald Trump's rally yesterday. Let me see the first timestamp that we have. So we're going to now go back to a little bit of the impact that RFK Jr. has had. He had a funny moment where he's talking about RFK Jr. You know, I listened to him from an environmental standpoint, but up to a certain extent, you know, from a health standpoint, he said to listen to it. But when it gets into the environment, he made a couple jokes on it. So let's take a look at this. 48, 47. All right. Should already have it shared. All right, here we go. Let me know y'all thoughts.
Robert F. Kennedy cares more about human beings and health and the environment than anybody. And he's going to be absolutely, having him is such a great honor. I've been friends of his for a long time. And I'm going to let him go wild on health. I'm going to let him go wild on the food. I'm going to let him go wild on medicines. The only thing I don't think I'm going to let him even get near is the liquid gold that we have under our feet. I don't know, Elon, he might not like liquid gold. It's oil and gas, sometimes referred to as oil and gas. JD, I think we're going to have to keep him away from the oil and gas. What do you think, Howard? Yes? But where is Robert? He's around. He gave a beautiful speech. He's a great guy. He truly cares. I mean, he truly cares about this, and it's an honor. And we're also pleased to be joined by my beautiful wife. She's got the...
Yo. Besides, I don't even want to keep playing it, but the main point that I wanted to bring up, where this is why I appreciate him giving RFK Jr. a platform. Because like it or not, a lot of people, and when you look at it, it was the Democrats. I know the KDs out here, the black men, won't like to admit that it was the Democrats that were trying to shut down RFK Jr. That's the exact reason why RFK Jr. is on he's still on some ballots compared to Jill Stein, who can't get on the ballots. You know, they want to put RFK Jr. As soon as they found out that RFK Jr. was rocking with Trump, they said, oh, leave RFK Jr. on there because then he's just going to take away votes from the Republicans. But let's get Jill Stein off because she's going to take away votes for us. Like, come on, are we really talking about a Democratic Party? Does this really sound like democracy? But then they'll call him the fascist. They're using their political power to keep certain individuals off the ballots while putting some on that benefit their political agenda. But we're calling Trump the fascist and Trump Hitler. Like it's really interesting. It's really interesting. But we learn from it all. All right, so let's move on to 103.16. What's this one about? All right, so this is I know we played the video earlier of Mayor Eric Adams answering to Trump. Here's Trump kind of responding to him.
Because Mayor Adams has been treated pretty badly. You know, when he said that this whole thing with the migrants coming into New York, this is just not sustainable. You know, we can't do it. We're trying to run a city. We got 100,000 migrants coming. We gotta We can't do it. It just can't do it. It's not feasible. It's not good. He said it very nicely. I said, well, he's going to be indicted by these lunatics for saying that. A year later, he got indicted. I think they upgraded his seat in an airplane. That's a very serious charge. They've upgraded my seat a lot, too. I used to fly commercial. I don't fly it so much anymore. But they'd see me back there and, sure, would you like an upgrade? I don't know. Maybe it's something else. But I have to tell you, he's been really great. And he said that they shouldn't be calling Trump a dictator because it's not true. That's nice. That was nice. Very nice. So we want to thank Mayor Adams, going through a hard time with these people. These are lunatics, by the way. They've weaponized the Justice Department against their political opponent. I am under investigation more than the great, late Alphonse Capone. My father's looking down on me right now. He was a tough guy, but he was like legit. And I know my mother's in heaven. I'm not 100% sure my father, but it's close. But he's...
Yeah. All right, man. Let's hold on. We got one more video, one more Trump. So now we're gonna look at Trump speaking on getting the support of a lot of the. Hold on. Y'all will see it. All right, hold on. Let me keep playing it. Oh, it kind of plays into it.
He's looking down at me right now. You're gonna have a war with me, and you're not gonna have a third world war with me. That I can tell you. But we need steel. And I would not approve U.S. steel being bought by Japan. I wouldn't do it. Just out of psychologically not good. We'll help them out, but I don't like it. We're seeing historic levels of support among our black population, Hispanic population, and our Asian population. Jews, Muslims, by the way, did anybody see yesterday? Did anybody see what took place? I was with the Muslims yesterday in Michigan. And when the polls first came out, they had 100%, I had 0. And yesterday, I watched this anchor on CNN almost choke. She said, something's happening in Michigan, big population, couple of 100,000, a lot of votes. Something's happening, the poll just came out. Trump is at 59, Kamala is at 8 with the Muslim population. They never saw anything like that, Eli.
Yo, this dude is crazy.
And these are people, by the way, they're great. They just want peace. They want to have peace. And it's great. So Jews and Muslims and Catholics and evangelicals and Mormons, and they're all joining our cause in large numbers, larger than anyone has ever seen in this country before, larger than they've ever seen in any country. And the Republican Party has really become the party of inclusion, and that's something very nice about that. And
yeah. All right, so I'm gonna call it. I'm calling it. If Donald Trump wins this election, the safe thing for me to say is I can see him I can see the path set for him to be a top 5 most impactful presidents of all time. Top 5 best presidents of all time. And I'm going to tell you why. The storyline, what he's overcome, all the indictments. I really think that 40 years from now, 20 years from now, maybe, when we look back at this time, like if he gets back in office, it allows him to finish out a particular story to where they set the narrative for him. Oh, he's racist. He's this. They did an excellent job in altering videos and only showing us particular propaganda that would make us hate Donald Trump and see him in a particular light. But the fact that he kept running, matter of fact, imagine this. Imagine if he wasn't running for president right now. I would have never known that when he said there was very fine people on both sides in Charlottesville, that they didn't play the whole clip where he clearly condemned the Nazis and white supremacists. Think about that. If he didn't keep pushing, a lot of this stuff would have never came out. I would have just kept thinking like, nah, Trump a racist asshole. That's what I've been thinking. That's what I would have really would have been thinking. And the fact that he kept going, now look at what he can do. The country, we felt good around him. Our money was going a long way. We could afford homes. A lot of things were in a good place. Obviously, we had the pandemic. But now compared to right now, even if you're a Democrat, there's no way that you feel good about Kamala Harris. Not if unless you're just a super fanatic. But there's no way that you feel good or great about her. You may hate Donald Trump, but if you're keeping it real, you don't feel great about Kamala. You're more driven by your hate for Donald Trump than your love for Kamala Harris, if we're being real. So let Donald Trump, if he wins this, these are my predictions. And I can't say that I took credit for this. I didn't watch the video, but I know that Patrick Bet-David was discussing this with Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump. Donald Trump's going to he's going to pardon Hunter Biden. Donald Trump's going to pardon Hunter Biden. And this is why I'm saying this. Donald Trump ran an entire campaign talking about lock her up with Hillary. When he became president, he had the opportunity to use certain powers to put Hillary in a very compromised position and press charges against her. He decided not to because he said that that's not a good look for our country to have Hillary Clinton, who's held the positions that she's held, and to be a former first lady, to be going to prison. Now, when he came to office, I know he may be feeling some type way because the things that feels that he didn't do were done to him. He was indicted. He was impeached. All these different things happened. So a lot of people may say, well, when he gets back in office, now he's going to be pissed off. So he may actually apply some pressure in these ways. Okay. I actually see it a different way. I actually see that even if you think that Trump is the arrogant, egotistical, self-absorbed person that a lot of people believe he is, then I think that that will outweigh his emotional hatred for a lot of the things that people did against him. And let me explain that. A lot of people say like, no, he's too emotional. If Donald Trump pardons Hunter Biden, can you imagine the support or I don't even know if Biden would give him the support, but just how much of a, like taking like being the bigger person that would like establish, it would show that he cares for the country if he comes out and says, I'm pardoning Hunter Biden. And it's because this is just a terrible look for what has gone on and how America looks with this type of thing. This is how I could see that. I also think that he's going to bring our economy back. I think that he's uniting a lot of people. Just if he is able to stop the wars between Ukraine and Russia, bring some type of peace between Israel and Palestine, how would we not see him as one of the greatest presidents of all time? His first 4 years, we avoided conflict, right? We avoided conflict. The next 3.5, 4 years, we're involved in a whole bunch of conflict. If he goes now and takes on and if he wins and his 4 years, he's able to bring about peace. Can you imagine like what his, I don't know, when you look at, I don't know, when people compare Jordan to LeBron, when you look at his accomplishments and his achievements, you would have to say that they rank among the best with anybody. Here we're in a position where I know people always say it, but here we are literally in a position where some people think that we're already in World War III, but a lot of people just believe that we're getting closer and closer, or this is the closest point that we've ever been to World War III. And now, obviously, the stakes are much higher because we have the type of weaponry, and a lot of other countries have that type of nuclear weaponry, to where a couple pushes of the button and this world could be over like that. If Trump is able to bring peace in an environment like that, even the people that think they hate him, would have to show him some type of credit. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? So think about it. If Trump is able to get in office, do all these things, bring the economy back, end these wars, address the deficit, pay off some of those things. Like if he's able to get, I don't know, but maybe the Hunter Biden thing's a little bit of a reach, but y'all know me, I'm always reaching. So let's keep it going a little bit. Let me move myself and we'll listen to a couple more minutes of this and then we'll move on.
We're a big, powerful party, and they're losing it. They're really losing it. Together we will lift America to glory beyond your wildest dreams. It's going to happen fast, too. So in conclusion, with your vote this November, we are going to fire Kamala, and we are going to save America. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands and thousands of factories back to America. We're even going to get Elon to bring that stuff back.
Hold on one second. All right, so I was trying to find the Donald Trump. Am I unmuted? My fault. Y'all know I do this every once in a while when I blow my nose. Chill, relax. Urs, you're supposed to be my engineer, so why you not pulling up here? Damn, all y'all no sound. Be my engineer. Help me out. Damn, y'all know when I blow my nose, I try to go off camera. All right, whatever. Yo, so Donald Trump, I'm not sure if y'all realize or if y'all heard the whole speech where he talked about the teleprompter. So I was trying to, you heard it? All right, if you heard that, then he was kind of making a joke about Kamala Harris and a lot of these other speech people being the teleprompters. Is it still on silent? Oh, Doug. All right, so Doug texted me. My fault. Everybody said, I appreciate y'all. All right, damn. Shit. All right. But so Donald Trump was clowning Kamala Harris for the teleprompter. And this is one of the things, in my opinion, that makes Donald Trump very appealing. Because you have Kamala on one end, who, when she's asked a question, she's going to say, the Urs caught the snot tray. Urs know what it is. Urs supposed to be on here. Nah, I'm playing with y'all. Urs and I have a running joke. Urs is supposed to once we got to wait a little bit, but Urs is going to eventually be like Jamie on Patrick Bet David. There we go. But to have somebody speak to you with a speech, in my opinion, is totally different than just having somebody speak to you off the top of their head. I see people when they give speeches totally differently when somebody is just speaking off the top of their head compared to somebody who's reading something. It almost comes across as, how can I put it? It comes across as a certain level of disingenuous. When you're talking about certain things like this, where you're speaking on these things almost every day, there is a certain level, and matter of fact, let me correct that. I'm not saying that using the teleprompter comes across as disingenuous, but the person who doesn't use it comes across as being way more genuine. And I thought this entire time that he was using teleprompters. but he brought it up the fact that saying like, oh, nah, you know, wouldn't it be nice to have a president that can speak without using a teleprompter and all these different things? And I believe that he has a point, but I don't know, for y'all, does that make a difference when you see a candidate using a teleprompter for a speech? Do you see it differently as somebody who's not using one? And do you think that this is one of Donald Trump's appeal to a lot of people, because it just seems like he's having a conversation rather than trying to respond in a programmed manner, like let's say a Kamala Harris may do, to where she's thinking about, okay, let me think about what I should say. Let me think about what they, what they want to hear. Let me think about what my team told me to say. Trump is he's just Trump. This is why it works with him on Joe Rogan. Kamala Harris, I believe, even when she went on the town hall with Charlemagne, she had like a notepad or an iPad. Like for the first debate, Kamala Harris and the Democrats wanted notes. It's like, nah, stand on what you stand on, speak on what you speak on, and do your due diligence and research to where you can be informed enough to have conversations about this. But maybe that's just me and how I see it. We'll listen to maybe 30 more seconds and then we'll keep going.
We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine, which would have never happened if I were president. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III from happening. We will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. I rebuilt our military in total. Rebuilt all of our military. Built 571 miles of wall, too. I took it out of the military because I couldn't get it from the people in Congress that should have given it to us. So I considered it an invasion. I said to a couple of generals, I said, congratulations, this is an invasion of our country. So I took it out of the military, had 9 lawsuits and won them all. We will build a massive defense shield, all made in the USA. We're going to build a beautiful dome over our country. And a lot of it's going to be made right here in
Y'all believe that? Y'all think that we could really build a dome over the country?
We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., which has become a very dangerous and badly managed place. We're going to make them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And as long as the Speaker of the House of Representatives is here, I would like to put forward a bill, because I watched 2 months ago as some very bad people, radical left people, by the way, nothing happened to them, in Washington, D.C., burned our American flags. They were burning flags. And I would like to suggest that we put in a bill, if you burn the American flag, 1 year in jail.
What y'all think, man? What y'all think? Does this make some of y'all nervous? Is this what people are gonna highlight as far as the fascism? Let's keep going. Hold on. We got it. It's already 9:30.
We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty, I will restore free speech, and I will defend the right to keep and bear arms. Our Second Amendment is under siege. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country, defend our borders, and protect our citizens. It's called America First, and it's going to happen at levels never seen before. And I'll tell our friends, our allies, who sometimes treat us very badly, that it's about time we take care of ourselves. And we will stop the illegal immigration that's taking place at levels never seen before. We will stop it cold and once and for all. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. And very much so, it will be filled with the American dream. We're bringing back the American dream, and we're going to bring it back.
All right. We gotta ease up on that. Ease up on that. All right, because it's just gonna go too long. So Ant wrote, honestly, in a world of games and misdirection, like or dislike Trump comes across as a little crazy but transparent. Trump comes across a little crazy but transparent. I ain't mad at that. Maybe something similar to the Iron Dome. What are y'all thinking, man? What are y'all thinking? And yo, you know what's so funny? So Doug, and Urs, I should have hit you with this. So Doug hit me yesterday and he said, "Yo, why aren't you at Madison Square Garden? You should be there." And I went away with the family for the weekend. But that would have been dope. And maybe at a couple, I don't know what the rest of the rallies are like. I don't know if anything's going to be held in New York, but how dope would that have been to be outside and getting some of the video, like the street footage, interviewing certain people? We got to figure that out. Now, you got to go with a team out there. So we may need everybody in the New York, New Jersey, tri-state area, wherever, to come out there with us to make sure that we good. You know, you out there doing these live street interviews. Never know how those could go. But that would have been cool. That would have been cool to tap in with. So just a couple videos, one showing us what not to do. And we're probably going to have to finish up on those. But all right, so I saw this crazy video. Now, a bunch of y'all may have seen it as well, where this mother, or this lady, I should say. Yeah, Mark, I'm in Jersey. What's up, Uncompetitive in the building? I'm in Jersey right now, but I'm back and forth between Jersey and Miami. Hold on. Let me show this clip for y'all. Y'all give me your thoughts.
Why did you bring your children here? Are you ashamed at all? Look at her face. Are you ashamed? No, look. Everyone look at her face.
All right, just wanted to share this with y'all. This is what not to do, man. We talk a lot about politics, and we heard JD Vance, and we talk about where politics can get to, and discussing politics in our family, amongst our friends and everything. If we become this radical and this fanatic, then none of us are winning. Now, thankfully, to me, this showed that people are willing to do the right thing, because even you had Harris Walt supporters. Just me with not having a lot of context, I heard a little bit of what the lady was screaming at the daughter, saying she was mad at her father. I'm assuming that her father's not a Harris Walt supporter. So this lady was very upset. So she decided to scream at this daughter. This is how crazy politics can make us. This is how crazy. I want y'all to look again. Look at this lady, this crazy girl right here. She's seeing the dad get his daughter in a seat. Now, he has something in his hand like a mic, so maybe he's doing interviews. I don't know why he's doing interviews with his daughter out there. That's the extremism on both sides. Like, bro, you shouldn't be at this rally, especially if you know you in op territory with your daughter out here like this. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know the context. But when you look at a situation like this, how could somebody think that this is okay? Yelling at a baby like that. But people were courageous enough, or I don't know, had some type of integrity to step in. So I thought that was a positive. But we can never allow politics to get us to this point. Like, that was one of my favorite parts of JD Vance's speech, to be totally honest, just because it addressed these things and had us to. It's never worth losing your family and friends over some politicians that, to be totally honest, they don't care about you. They don't care about you on a personal level like your friends and family care about you. So it's just not worth it. And I'm going to leave us with, so I think we have one more video. Hold on. I think we got one more video on X. Let me hide this real quick. I thought that this. Oh, hold on. So we didn't do Michelle Obama's? Nope, we're doing Michelle Obama's. We're doing Michelle Obama's right now. My apologies. I forgot we had the Michelle Obama video.
Dismantling parts. So let me take a minute to help folks, especially the men in our lives, to get a better sense of what could happen if we keep dismantling parts of our reproductive care system piece by piece, as Trump intends to do. I want folks to understand the chilling effect, not just on critical abortion care, but on the entirety of women's health, all of it. There are good reasons why so many women and physicians are horrified by what's happened since Donald Trump's justices overturned Roe v. Wade. We're seeing women scrambling across state lines to get the care they need. Just this week, a major medical journal reported that after Roe was overturned, infant mortality in this country rose, in large part because women are being forced to carry fetuses that won't survive to term. One woman spent 22 days in jail on murder charges after she miscarried in her own bathroom. We are seeing
this level of do I address this? I'm gonna try to do the mature thing. Let me actually hold on. I wanted to move on to a particular part, if that's okay with y'all. I just don't want to do the whole abortion conversation right now. I really prefer not to. Matter of fact, this is 7 minutes long. I'm trying to think. Matter of fact, I'm Michelle'd out. The whole and this is I'm not playing this. I'm gonna tell you why. It's just I just it's like, is this election only over women's ability to want to have abortions whenever they want to have abortions? Like, is this really what this presidency has come down to? The only things that I've heard the Democrats pushing lately is Donald Trump's Hitler, Donald Trump's a fascist, and Donald Trump is taking away your right to have an abortion. It's like, is that really what all that people care about? And I challenged y'all last week, who watched the 1916 Project? Who actually watched it? And this is the problem. We're not going to watch that 1916 Project. All the people that are so passionate, whether you're on pro-life or pro-choice, are just going to feel the way they feel without, in my opinion, doing more research on the creation of Planned Parenthood. Now, a lot of women may say, I'm a woman, I don't need to study. I know, I've gone through it. Okay, but do you understand why abortion was introduced to you? Do you understand why your thoughts are the way that they are when it comes to abortion? Do I understand why when I was growing up, I didn't even think about abortions as like a huge thing? Think about that. That is the culture that we are brought up in. We're not even taught to think about abortion as a big deal. It's almost like, yo, they better have an abortion. Like, I'm telling y'all. So as much as we like to, you know what's so funny? We were having this conversation over the weekend about Trump grabbing by the P, right? How that was so offensive. And I told my fam that I was with, I said, any guy that doesn't tell you that that's just how guys talk, like they're lying to you. The whole grab him by the P. All he was saying was a lot of these girls, they'll let you grab them by the P. Do we not see our culture? Do we not see what our culture is? Yeah. If you're Donald Trump in a lot of these places, if you're a successful person, that's exactly how these girls do act. But we care more about grab them by the P than we do about a lot of this abortion talk. We care more about the fact that Donald Trump is talking about grabbing by the P, but the way that we used to look at abortions and how we used to speak on abortions. Have you ever, ladies, you know what you would really be offended by? And I was trying to figure out exactly how to say it, but I'm just going to say it. I'm going to do Trump rather than Kamala. If you heard, ladies, if you heard the way that men in their 15s to maybe 30s, hopefully not well into the 30s, speak on abortions, I think that you would be a lot more offended in hearing the conversations around that than you would with Donald Trump getting secretly recorded in a Dateline or whatever, talking about women will let them grab them by the P. And a lot of men said, oh, I don't know any men that talk like that. You can believe these squares if you want. But in all actuality, if you heard the way that 15-year-old boys to maybe about 25 to 30-year-old men speak on abortion, let somebody get pregnant and listen to the conversation that man will have with his friends. Let him get a girl pregnant. And I think you'll be a lot more offended by that conversation than you would about Donald Trump saying grab him by the P. But this is how we've been indoctrinated to see abortion and a lot of other issues. This is how the propaganda has worked. We normalize abortion. We don't even think abortion is a bad thing. It's a bad thing. Like and this is so, we have to separate the reasons and the context around it from the actual action of it. Abortion is a bad thing. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that women shouldn't be able to have them. I'm not saying that, but we can agree on both, right? Or we can not necessarily agree on whether or not they should have them, but just understanding that it's a bad thing. Like just the actual action of it, it's a bad thing. And based on the women that I speak to, it affects women in a very negative way. Now, I'm still not sitting here saying that all women shouldn't be able to have them, but I just wanted to give some context to that. And Ant wrote, hold on, LOL, there's mad videos of dudes making Plan B jokes. I'm trying to tell y'all, if you talk about wanting to be offended, be careful. Maybe we should do a lesson. And I think we did this before, where go through a week and think about the things that offend us. Think about the things that trigger us and think about the things that offend us, because in a lot of ways, the things that trigger us and the things that offend us, they control or hinder or set a ceiling on how they determine how we see not only the world, but we're controlled by the things that we're offended by. That's what I'm trying to say. We're controlled by the things that we're offended by. Let's look at the politicians. They see, what is this group of people offended by? Okay, let me dangle that carrot in front of you and say, hey, this thing that you're offended by, this particular group does it. Let me show you some examples. We're all amazing over here. We don't do that. That's how they control us, based on the things that we're offended by, based on the things that we are emotionally attached to, based on our current perspective on it. So I don't know, neither here nor there. Let's actually play this. I'm so glad that I didn't get into that Michelle Obama video. So glad. All right, let's finish off with this last video.
Excuse me, sir. I'll pay you $100 if I have my arm out and you duck back and forth underneath it without hitting my arm for 60 seconds.
$100.
$100.
It's on. Let's go.
Okay, ready? Okay, so what you want to do is duck underneath it like that with your eyes closed. Yeah, okay, go. So just keep it going for 60 seconds. All right, 55 seconds.
Eyes closed. Yeah. There's a lot of lessons in this one. All handouts ain't good. Yo, look at my man. Hey, yo. All right, man. Stop getting caught up in the okey doke. All handouts ain't good. If somebody presents something to you that seems too good to be true, don't go for it. So I thought that was a funny video to show. But once again, let's not get too caught up in this. We're going to do we're going to finish up as we always finish up. We're going to do 45 seconds of breath work. Close your eyes, manifest, visualize, whatever you need to do. Think about something. Don't think about something, but whatever you need to do to put yourself in the best mindset in order to make this the most amazing week ever. That's the goal that we set forth every week. So let's do 45 seconds. Close your eyes if you're in a safe place and kind of recalibrate, re-energize. I'm putting it on mute so I can blow my nose. So if I get to put it back on, I'm not going to. But 45 seconds. Let's go. All right, 2 more deep breaths. Inhaling all positive energy, exhaling all the BS. Breathe in from that diaphragm. All right, one more, last one. All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all as always. I'm sending Urs a contract. Urs, I need you, bro. Urs, we need you. I'm sending Urs a contract right after this show. But yeah, y'all know what it is. Onward and upward, strength and honor. What are we here to do? Elevate on purpose, both from an intentional standpoint as well as raising our standards to become the people we need to become in order to lead how we need to become, how we need to lead, and just in order to live in that purposeful abundance. All right, to live in that purposeful abundance. So y'all know what it is. Ant wrote, everyone have a blessed, productive week. Mark wrote, have a good week, folks. Thanks, OG. Thank you, Uncle Brother, gang. And then Quee sent the fire emojis. So y'all know what it is. Get to that bag. Set the intentions for the week. What's in my bag? Peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and everything that we do it with integrity. So with that, I shall see y'all soon. Ew.